He said, she's too violent. No, not because I said, she's too violent. Can you do something with her? She's the least violent person I know. However, in some sense, seems right. Yeah. Why? And I saw this all around. Oh, please answer.
Well, I was doing too much. Doing too much.
Yeah.
So disturbing instead of just connecting.
Yeah, that's right. So, and this was, I saw this around the room quite a bit. Particularly, I saw even people helping other people, telling them how to hold their hand. That's fine, but do you remember what I said about when somebody's telling you about your body? They're not talking about your body, they're talking about your mind, your state of mind. State of mind is either self-obsessive, I mean this is a black and white look, it's all states in between, but it's either self-obsessive or it's self-inclusive. In other words, it's universal or it's personal. When you're giving a key test, it has to be universal, it has to include everyone. So where is your attention? It's not exclusively on yourself and how you're doing this correctly or not. The purpose of the key test is to ascertain the state of mind of the other person, to know their state of mind. So where should your attention be? Here. As long as your attention is here, then you can see any day what's going on and help them to understand key testing on a deeper level. So maybe violence is a little violent word, but certainly it feels differently when you're thinking about yourself and doing it correctly. Sincerely, of course, but you're still thinking about yourself doing it correctly. This is what we mean by misuse of mind. So this is a perfect opportunity to practice correct use of mind. Remember, understand about right and wrong here. It's not like the moral right and wrong. Yeah? So if your intention is good or bad, it doesn't matter as long as there's an intention there. It's still wrong. Or in other words, it's only wrong because you're stopping key movement. You're preventing key from moving. Even if your intention is of the highest, morally, or ethically, or legally. No matter what your intention is, no matter if you have an intention to do something yourself, look, it doesn't mean that nothing happens. Everything, if you just pay attention, everything, including everything you do, is already happening. It's just that you're not in charge in the way that you think you are. That's what we're learning here. We are not in charge in the way we assume we are. We think we are in charge of our lives. In fact, some of us think we're in charge of other people's lives. Some of us think we're in charge of the whole community. But we're not in charge. We should be listening. So when you're giving a key test, you're not talking, you're listening. You're listening with your whole mind and body. Still a little bit of... So you need to embrace me. I know you like to embrace me. You hug me all the time. Okay? So, stay with me. Okay. And then just let your feeling all fall to the almost, still you want to do it correctly. Can you feel that? Yes. That's not including me. That's just that you're keeping one point, but only for Joel. What about me? Include me. That's right. That's right. So like we're in conversation, that's a different feeling. When you include me in it. So we're listening to each other, right? You know the story about Mother Teresa? Dan Rather was interviewing Mother Teresa, and he said, "Oh, I hear you pray all the time." She goes, "Yeah." And she says, "What do you say?" She goes, "Nothing." Well, what do you do? She said, I listen. Well, what are you listening to? Well, I'm listening to God. Well, what does God say? Nothing. What is God doing? Listening. That's us. We're listening. That's the ultimate relationship. You know, God is not a thing. It's that everybody listens to everybody all the time. That's this connection we're talking about. So our attention is here, inclusively here. And we're going to go into this a lot more. I mean, there's refinements of this, like Sankaku no Kamai, which is going to come up in a moment, which is how we use mind effectively and ineffectively. Okay, let's do one more time, do this key testing, and then we'll move on. Okay, thank you.